hello. Hiya. Darren here. I've got a cup of coffee. I had this crazy idea, you know, that it would be a nice idea to come on and just have a chat about music. See if anybody... People are always asking me questions about stuff, about music, about songwriting, about some of the community music stuff I do, you know, singing with older people, dementia-friendly groups and that. And I just thought, you know, why not pop online on a regular Sunday night when there's nothing else happening, unless you're a support Manchester City, of course, and just stick around online for a little bit. I got to straighten my glasses. I think that's important. They don't look straight at all, do they? No, but there you go. Hello. So if anybody wants to ask me a question tonight, I just thought I'd chinwag about music and gigs. Trish is coming on in a little bit as well, so Trish is going to be here to chinwag and ask a few questions. Probably stick around till about 8:30, I think. Thought it'd be a nice idea to do that. So hopefully you can hear me. Everything's all right. You can see the visuals are good. It's always good to do. Is to make sure we get the tech check done first. So I'm going to start just by letting you know that next year is 2015, and 2015, I'm trying to think when you know, it's something like how many is it? 14, must be 14, 15. We're probably getting round about 30 years, or is it more than 30? No, it's more than 30 years, isn't it? It's 35 years of performing live. I think since I played my first gig, it's probably going to be getting on for 40 years soon. I'm losing track of it. That's the beauty of it. But what I do remember my very first ever gig. You know, I think although you lose track of loads and loads of things over the years, I still remember it crystal clear the first time I played my songs to a live audience, and it was in a room above a pub that's no longer there. It got burned down, I think, if I remember rightly. It's a place called the Dog and Partridge in Ashton-under-Lyne, suburb of Greater Manchester. And as it happens, the place where I was born in Ashton-under-Lyne, but you know, moved out and about, and went to live in Glossop. Our family did, and but yeah, I'd sort of gone back there, and I was in college, and I got involved in a performance poetry group called Stand and Deliver, and it was supporting a poet called Adrian Mitchell. I first played my first gig, 3 songs, and I still remember it as clear as day. You know, I probably can't remember the 3 songs I played because I did a couple of poems in between. But it's amazing now, you know, you remember certain things and certain gigs and the feelings and at that particular time. Hello Trish, how are you?
Hello.
Are you coming across? Or do I need...
I'll let you carry on gabbing first.
Alright, do I need to set you up another camera?
No. Who are you talking to?
Nobody,
No.
just myself as always.
Me, myself and I.
Me, myself and I. Are you going to ask me a question? Come on, because I thought it'd be good for you. You need to come on camera if you're going to come and ask me a question. Shall I get the camera set up for you? Do you want the camera set up? How are you looking? There you are.
Scary.
You're looking very serious there, dear. Have you caught the sun today?
I shouldn't have, because I don't think I've been in it.
Yeah. Oh, Liam wants to talk about football. Liam, next door Liam.
I thought it was nothing to do with football. It's supposed to be to do with music.
It is nothing to do with football. It's everything to do with music and nothing to do with football, Liam. But Liam, if you want to talk about football, I did actually go to the game today. I did actually go to the game, and go on, Trish, ask me a question.
I'm waiting to hear about the spider bite.
The spider bite story. Okay, I was out in. Well, I'll take you back. I promoted about 2,500 gigs at the Witchwood in Ashton-under-Lyne, and strangely enough, one of the people I hit it off with, of all the touring musicians, was a poet, right, from Austin, Texas, who I hadn't even booked to play, right? He just turned up blagging it with one of the bands one day, and his name was Tom the World Poet. And Tom would go out and do stuff with a band called Gong, you see, just turn up at the gigs. Occasionally he'd be a support act for them. And Tom came to do some poems at the Witchwood as part of a little Gong gig. And Tom said, hey, you know, Darren, you know, you look after us, you're a good lad. why don't you come over to Austin, Texas, come play some songs? So, cut a long story short, I saved up a little bit of money, got a plane out there, 2 planes actually, Austin, Texas, and I'd been out there about 3 days. I was sleeping on somebody's floor in a sleeping bag that had been pulled out of an airing cupboard, and the sleeping bag had been there forever. But there was, you know, there must have been, because I think that's the only way it could have happened, there must have been a spider in there, and it was either a black widow spider or a brown recluse. I don't think people could quite work out which one it was. But I just remember I had like 2 days of really bad fever, you know, really suffocating fever that they literally had to sort of hold me up while I played songs on one occasion, because I was so out of it.
Me when I get me hot flushes.
Yeah, a bit like you when you get your hot flushes. But I just remember, you know, sort of having this fever and not knowing what it was. I just thought, oh, I've just caught a bug or something, and I couldn't eat, and I was burning up. You know, I was drinking forever, and I was ever so tired, and I didn't know what it was. And then on the 3rd day, the fever kind of went, but my leg had swollen up from my knee down to my ankle. It's like a balloon, you know.
You're looking at the
I know, I am looking at you. I'll look over this way. Hi, Trish. And my leg had swollen up. And we were playing a gig on a little cowboy ranch just outside of Houston. And, you know, proper cowboy ranch. We played this gig and played some songs on the porch, and it was really good fun. But there was a nurse there, someone who was genuinely a nurse. And she said, "Why are you limping?" You know, just to sort of make conversation. And I said, "Because my knee is swollen, all the way from my knee down to my ankle." And anyway, 2 or 3 of the people then made me take my pants off and show her this leg, right? And she said, "You've been bitten by a spider. Look, I can tell, I can see the mark. You need to go to a hospital straight away." So the following day I was whisked in, hospitalised, and there I was, well, I don't know, I can't remember if I was on a drip or on just on medication, but they got me in straight away. And I was quite lucky because they're supposed to charge you, you know, they're supposed to make you pay money in American hospitals, but I turned up as a homeless person because I didn't tell them where I was staying, and that wasn't the idea. And they kept me in and saved my life, I guess, because with that kind of leg and that kind of fever going on, I needed lots of care. I just remember middle of the night, some American nurse waking me up and going, "Hey, I come to check your vital signs." And it's like being in the movies. You're looking over that way, aren't you? So I was saying, "Come and sit behind me, right?" and then we're not looking in opposite directions. That'd be alright then. That's better, isn't it? Or come and sit alongside me. Come on, come and sit. Hi Ian, how are you? Lovely to see you. Hope you're well, young fella. And Ian, if you've got any questions, you know, ask them along. Liam, if you've got any questions, ask them. Well, I'm going to stick around for about half an hour. But I just thought, you know, talking about music and songwriting, because we get quite a few people come watching us as songwriters, don't they? Are you enjoying playing gigs with us, Trish? Are you enjoying?
Yeah.
What instruments do you want to learn next?
I think I've got enough at the moment.
Are we not going to get you this MIDI player for you to play?
Oh, yeah.
It's quite exciting, isn't it? I think it's quite
Is it?
exciting. Yeah, I think so. We've spent some money on it because we're going to soup it up, aren't we? It's called an Air A Touch. Trish is going to play this MIDI player. She'll be able to play orchestras and trumpets and everything, just using a little pad. It's going to be great.
Take your word for it.
You're going to be super cool. Come on, ask me a question, Trish.
When you buy me a ring.
I told you.
You asked for it.
Right, I've told you before now, right? We've got a doorbell. We don't need another doorbell. You can come a bit closer if you want. Come on screen.
No.
All right,
You're
don't.
getting too close and you'll set it horrible.
Thanks, dear. Good morning. Good morning. I'm silly. Hi, Mary. How are you? Good to see you, Mary. You must ask me you must have a question about songwriting, about gigs. We've not been to see Mary play yet.
No.
We need to do that, you know. I'll ask you a question, Mary. When have you got a gig that we can come and see? That'd be good. Because we start going out to gigs, don't we? We went to a couple of gigs. We actually went and watched somebody else. Because usually we just blag people to watch us, don't we, usually?
No, I'm normally sat in the corner on my own twiddling my thumbs.
What, when we got gigs?
Yeah.
Are you going to have a go at me about last night again?
Oh,
How long were you sat on your own last night?
about an hour.
45 minutes. You were on your own for 45 minutes, not an hour. An hour's networking. Yeah, story about a spider.
5th of July at the station.
Ian, yeah. It was an incredible story. I mean, the next part of the story was I was there for 2 weeks, right? I was in Austin, Texas, and the idea was to play some gigs during the first week, and then sort of blag about and try and get a few places to play in the second week, because we were basically playing for our dinner, you know. Turning up unknown in Austin, Texas is the same as turning up in Manchester. You know, you don't get to play headline gigs anywhere. You're kind of like busking around, you know. And once one gig, I literally stood on a table in a Pizza Hut and played and said, if I played 20 or 30 minutes of songs, will you do me a pizza? I was starving. There's a pizza up me with an acoustic guitar because I needed some food. But there you go. That's
And did you get food?
Yeah, because I did. That's where I discovered Mexican food as well, because one of the gigs we played got fed a big Mexican meal, you know, all the enchiladas and everything. Oh, it was amazing, beautiful, proper real Mexican food. But the thing was, the spider bite came about the Wednesday of the first week and took me out of action for about 2 or 3 days, and I didn't. So by the time I got back at weekend, I had no gigs for the second week. So we went to play a little festival in a place called La Mesa, which is up near Lubbock. And then one of the poets was heading onwards, and he was going up to Tulsa, you know, 24 hours, and it was quite Tulsa. So instead of going back to Austin, where I had no gigs, I took a drive up to Tulsa and with this poet, and I played a gig in Tulsa, which I thought was quite cool. But there you go. Mary's playing the 5th of July at the station, and we should see if that's
Not
something.
been down there for ages.
No. Oh, here's one for you. How did you two meet? Go on, you can answer that.
I employed you.
You did, actually, yeah, you did. You paid me, didn't you?
Yeah.
You did. Where were you working at the time?
I was a deputy manager of a little 5-bedded house with young adults with disabilities.
Kind of like a small care home, wasn't it?
Well, no, it was more supported living.
Yeah.
Well, saying that, there was 2 that needed full-time care.
And what you employed me to do a little bit of music therapy, didn't you?
Unfortunately.
Oh. What was that
And
somebody?
now I can't get rid of you.
What was that somebody said yesterday? You're very lucky to have me. Somebody said. That's all we'll say on that, shall we? Rachel says, "Play the piano." Do you mean can I play the piano? I know. Can I play the piano, Trish?
No.
No. I blag the piano, Rachel. I'm learning the piano.
No, you can play it. It's me that can't play it. What's saying that?
Well, Rachel's got a suggestion. We should get Trish to play the piano. It's you should play the piano.
Can you not tell Trish? Can you not tell Trish what?
I don't know. We'll come back to that one. Can you tell Trish? Can you not tell Trish? I don't know. Mary, which do you write first, music or lyrics? It can be anything really. It can be either or with me, Mary. It's depends where the emotion is, the emotional connection. For me, is if it's probably the lyrics first, because there'll be a story or something I want to write about, and it'll come and it'll push its way through to the front of my head, and it'll force me to pick the guitar up or the piano, because I've written a couple of songs on piano, haven't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For example, "Baby Changes Everything" was written on the piano, and that was inspired by you. That was.
Was it?
Yes, because you were
That was going to be one of my questions, actually, when you're going to write a song about me.
I have, but I've not played it yet. It's all about the emotional with me. You know, I can go months, maybe years without writing, and then I'll get sort of an idea in my head of something I want to write about. I need to write about, and then there's a bit of wordplay will kick in, and then I just toodle around with it. There's a
You
book.
got toodle around with mine.
It doesn't happen straight away. Trish has written some lyrics, right?
No, I haven't. I've just written some bits down.
Which is really nice, and I'm thinking about it. It'll go into a song at some point. It should be really nice.
We'll see you in 10 years' time with it.
So yeah, the question: which do you write first, music or lyrics? I think as a rule, it's usually lyrics that come, and if they force me into writing, putting some chords to it. And I do that thing where I kind of waffle loads of nonsense whilst it all
What
starts
you
to
do
make
now?
sense. Yeah, like I'm doing now, until it all makes sense. Yeah, Well, just like comedians do, really. That's what they do. How long have I been playing the guitar? I was a late starter, 21. I was age 21, right?
Sorry, I was just laughing at the late start a bit.
I was a late starter. A lot of people learn to play it when they're like 12, 13, 14 guitar. I was 21 when I started. And I'll tell you how it began.
Did you have hair?
Yeah, I had hair. Are you going to mock me all night? Yeah, there was links into a story. There's a friend of mine called Duncan Taylor who's on Facebook, and he comes watching the show on a Sunday morning. And I was renting a room at Duncan's house with Duncan and his wife. They lived upstairs, and I lived in a spare room downstairs. And it's where Duncan kept his acoustic guitar. So because I had nothing to do after work but sit in this little room, I was like twiddling around this acoustic guitar and just teaching myself to play. And I taught myself a couple of Bob Dylan songs and a couple of Paul Weller songs, a couple of jam songs, and just easy stuff. And it came from there, really. But that's and I was 21 at the time, and then kind of I came home and went to college, and there was lots of acoustic guitars knocking about college, and that's when I really started to write songs. But yeah, I was a late starter. Have you had guitar lessons or self-taught? Mostly self-taught, Mary. I did have guitar lessons once upon a time with a guy called Sam Lees, who is brilliant. Sam Lees is an outstanding lead guitarist, because whilst I play chords and play rhythm, I wanted to do all the diddly diddly, all the lead guitar bits
That you can't do.
that I can't do. I can't, which is why I had guitar lessons with Sam, because I wanted Sam to show me how to do it, right? And Sam's a great teacher, but I just didn't get it. I couldn't do it. I had no, again, I talk about emotional connection. I had no emotional connection with playing lead guitar. I couldn't envisage myself sort of playing lead guitar and making any emotional connection, whereas I could just play a couple of chords and put some words to it, and it felt great, So yeah, but Sam Lees was great, but yeah, mostly self-taught beyond that. I think where it helps, where it does help is in terms of playing with other musicians, because you can learn through playing with other musicians. I played when I was writing my first songs, I also played in a little covers band, just doing some pub gigs, and I was kind of forced to play bar chords on that. I was forced to play in certain chords and certain songs that I didn't know. Some I didn't want to play, actually, because they were cheesy pop songs, but I had to play them because I was in this band, and because you're playing with other musicians, you get forced into learning, forced into practicing. So self-taught mostly, but yeah, sort of pushed along by lots of other people along the way. Yeah, are you self-taught, Mary? Yeah, it's, I suppose I think a lot of us are now. Our passers, our pass. Mr. David G. Parry, I could never do the twiddly bits.
I can't say it properly because that light.
What? Twiddly bits?
No, I can't see what's being said properly.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I'll mention Mr. Parry, David Pazzi, because I was talking before about how you learn from other musicians. I must have watched more bands and more songwriters than virtually almost everybody in Manchester, because I actually promoted 2,500 gigs over 10 years. So I was watching bands and musicians all the time, and you learn from watching other people, especially your stagecraft. The way to sort of deliver your songs, and you look at the people who are successful, and I think it's the strongest performers are the ones who know their songs, the ones who are in touch with their songs, who still feel something about what they've written. And I think there's a great thing about choosing which songs to play. I choose some of the songs that I'm feeling on that particular moment. I don't always play the ones that people want to hear it. I play the ones that I feel, so that I do the best performance. Are you having a hot flush there, dear?
It's hot in here. I think it's some lights.
It probably is. we've done How Do You Two Meet? Rachel, if you missed that one earlier on, I'll tell you the story. Basically, she was stood on a street corner, and I was driving past, and we weren't going to tell people that, were we? She was working in a care home, and she employed me, Rachel. She employed me to go and play some music for.
I was stood in the kitchen once he'd finished making dinner for the residents, and he stood there and he would not move. And he kept trying to text me to try and work out whether it was the work phone or me home phone.
No, I did not. I wasn't
Yes,
stalking you.
Did. Yes, you did.
Right, on with this. It's not true. Have you played in a band? Yes. I was just saying I've played in a band. I mean, the thing about it was a covers band back in the day when I was learning to play. It was a good little experience, really, because it helped me to learn, and I also played a little bit of keyboard in that as well. But what I've done over the years, because I saw so many bands split up and so many musicians have arguments falling out the back of transit vans, I worked it out that if you're a songwriter, you get bored of playing your own songs all the time. But it's great to pick up other musicians occasionally, to do gigs with other musicians to keep it fresh, to do, So that's where I've done gigs with Jamie and Fluff and Kevin and Royden and other people along the way, and you know.
You don't call them gigs, do you, with me?
These are gigs that we and you do. Yes, they are. You're going to come out and do some proper gigs, aren't you? At some point soon.
You want me to
Bring your fan. Come and have your hot flush on stage. There you go.
kill your career?
Mary's had lessons. You get a patient. Yeah. The thing.
I'm impatient. I couldn't have lessons. I need to sort of, if I want to do something, I've got to do it there and then. I can't take this weeks and weeks of trying to learn how to do something.
Yeah, I get that. I think you've got to have the right music teacher if you're going to take lessons, and also you've got to make sure you're playing the right instrument. I've had some people turn.
I just read that wrong, Ian. Sorry.
I'll take that off the screen, then you don't have to read it. I knew you get them. No, I've had people who young people in music projects that I've worked on, young people who've come playing guitar, and 2 or 3 weeks later they're actually playing something else. They're playing bass or drums or they're singing, and sometimes it's like you can start on an instrument and it doesn't quite work because you're not inspired by it, and it may be that you're playing the wrong instrument. See, this is the thing I think with you. I think we're yet to discover the instrument that's right for you. Although
I quite like the harmonica.
you're doing very well on the harmonica, yeah. But there is another instrument you can play. Just going back to Ian's comment, play with myself in a day. Thanks to Bert. It's Bert Weedon, actually, not Bert Weldon. What it is when back in the day there was a load of books called Learn to Play in a Day or something, and it was Bert Weedon, and they were like your basic guitar books. I think guitar chord books are great when you're starting out. I used to have a few guitar chord books just so you could learn some new guitars and then play by ear. As Mary says, play by ear. You learn to play by ear. It's good to know some music theory as well. If you know a little bit of music theory, which is
I did do music GCSE.
I'm trying to teach you a bit of music theory, aren't I? About keys, aren't I? A little bit of basic stuff. I am. All the white keys are in the key of C, and you take some notes out, and as long as you're playing the same key as me, it works. You play the harmonica in the same key as the song. It starts to gel. It sounds musical, doesn't it? Yeah. There we go. David. I started on guitar, picked up a mandolin for a bit of something different. Which if I hadn't picked up a mandolin, I would have ended up in my old band. I remember. I mean, when I used to play some gigs in Wigan when I started out, they were great for me in terms of my learning curve and watching other people play. I used to play with the Wigan Music Collective. We used to turn up at their nights, and Mr. Parry here was one of the musicians in one of the bands there, and he was part of the collective. And I always remember Pazza because he played this mandolin. He did stand out from the rest of us because we were all there being pop stars on guitars, and he was a bit more cool than we do because he played this like an electric mandolin, wasn't it, Paz? Yeah, which sounded great as well. Yeah, have you ever played any instruments before you played the guitar? at school, at junior school, they forced me to play the recorder.
I think everybody had to play the recorder.
Yeah. I was under particular pressure. I was the only boy in a room full of girls who was forced to play the recorder at school, and that experience. I always remember, and I've said this all my life. You never force anybody to play anything, right? You can give them the try and see if it works, and give them the opportunity. But to kind of force the kids to play something was always the wrong thing. You give it them and see what happens, and see if the magic happens. And if there's something happening, then you encourage them to play some more.
I think it was just everybody had to play the recorder.
I hated it, and I resented music. I mean, it was like, I remember secondary school. I hated music. If you weren't in the brass band, you didn't get music lessons in my secondary school. But yeah, so a bit recorder, and I resented it, and then it was just nothing then until I played the guitar. We've got, there is a little saxophone thing that our Tina got us, like a fluty saxophone thing, and I want to learn to play that a little bit, or maybe see if you want to play it. Be nice. But piano's great. I always wanted to play the piano. I bought this digital piano really, and I didn't know anything about how to play it for years until COVID came along, and that's when I started to learn to play it. I must have had that about 20 years, that piano, before I actually learned to play it. Mary, I was sent to piano lessons as a kid, but not my instrument, always guitar. Did you find that some of the music theory that you learnt on piano, knowing where the notes were, and just that little identifying that there are low notes and high notes and octaves, I think that's really essential for you to develop your guitar playing, because the piano helps you to visualize all the notes, and the music theory starts to make a little bit of sense if you can read what the piano's telling you. So yeah, I think piano is your blue shirt from Man City. I'll tell you a little story. Here's a little true story for you. I've been working with a young lad over in Chorlton, young lad with special needs, and I've been working with him now for must be about 4 years, since he was about 7, I think. And we have brilliant sessions. He's great to work with. His parents are delighted with his progress and the way he's going, and they're a lovely family. And they go watching Manchester City, and they were aware that I'd not been to see a City game for about 4 years. So they had a spare ticket today, and I've just been to see City today for the first time in years. So yeah, I've just got back from the match, and I've not got the up-to-date City shirt, but I do flare the colours. But yeah, so that's what the blue shirt and the whole blue colour scheme comes back from being a junior blue. Jason, hello Jason, how are you? I always wanted to learn to play guitar, but never. Think too old. No way, never too old, mate. I mean, I'm not going to say how old Trisha is, but Trisha's just started playing music, and you're not a spring chicken anymore, are you, kiddo?
No.
You're a little bit older now than teenagers, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
And you just start to learn to play. But there's one of the things I found when I went to America, to Texas, and you meet some of the musicians out there, and I mean it's a world apart from over here. It was great. Well, it was when I went, and I was just bumming around musicians in cafes and stuff. Nothing glamorous, but getting to chat to some of them, people who'd started late in life, people who'd retired from work and then picked up a guitar and gone out and had the time of their lives playing gigs, playing blues, busking, jamming along with other musicians, just joining jam sessions. Never too old, honestly, never too old, Jason. Get up and do it, buddy. Is that your sister?
Yeah.
My mum will love you, haha. Is that
Love me in what way?
For being a pop star, for doing wonderful stuff. Jason, just Mary there, never too old, Jason. Jason, how would you start? Well, borrow a guitar, borrow an acoustic guitar, get a little chord book, maybe sit with somebody who can play, a friend.
You know who Jason is, don't you?
Do I?
It's Claire's fella.
Hello, Jason. Hello, Claire's fella. Find somebody who plays, sit down, and just get them to show you some basics. And the thing is, if you enjoy it, right, this is the thing, if you enjoy it and you like the sound of it, and it starts to kind of make you feel good and make you feel excited by it, you'll learn it, you'll pick it up. If you don't get that good feeling about it after 2 or 3 goes, maybe get a different instrument, or get a harmonica like you've got, you know, and pick up a harmonica. The great thing about playing a harmonica, right, is you can have a pocket full of harmonicas and turn up anywhere, and if you can play them, you can jump on stage with virtually anybody and play a couple of songs of harmonica. That's one of my regrets. I wish I'd played harmonica years ago, because I could have just got up with loads of people and done loads of fun stuff. Yeah. But yeah, how would you start? Get somebody you know, got a spare guitar, sit down and learn some basics and go for it. What are you laughing at?
I'm thinking, well, you know, he's related to me, so, you know, he's going to be my brother-in-law. Is that right?
Is that because you're getting this Ring doorbell?
Yeah. No.
Oh, Jason.
Jay. Yeah.
Okay, well.
So, you know,
Where did they
he
live?
knows somebody that can play the guitar
And
and
I've
does
got-
lessons.
And I've got a spare guitar. I do. She's laughing at my 60 shirt.
Oh, that's it. Mum will love you because
There you go.
the
We'll-
city shirt.
We'll get to that in a minute. Mr. Parry, Jason, get a guitar, find a song you like, find a chords tab and play along. Yeah. No stress. Just jump in, get a guitar of somebody. Rachel wants to learn to try and play the guitar. Rachel, next time you come round to have your nails done, right? Come and have your nails done, and probably before you have your nails done, you can come and play a bit of guitar. There you go.
No, because then she'll snap them all, and then I'll have to put extensions on.
No, that's before she has her nails done, not after.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it still snap.
Okay. But come and have a go, Rach. 4 chords, Jason. That's all you need. A chord is like just like a shape, isn't it? Like where you press 3 strings in. You get
Don't
the
know.
strum.
I tried the guitar. You tried to show
did.
me, and I got confused because when you tell me to press 7 and you're only supposed to pluck certain strings or something, it's like, but I don't understand how you can just do it without having to look
Practice.
what string you're hitting.
Practice is because when I first picked up a guitar, I enjoyed it. It made me feel good, and I wanted to do it more often. And that's how it worked. You know, it was because I got that buzz out of it, that enjoyment out of it, that made me want to sit there and go through the pain barrier and the frustration of doing it.
I gave up.
It depends. A lot of it depends on how much you want to do it. You
Too
know,
much I can't work.
it depends on how much you want to do it. But if you want to do it, you'll do it. You know, that's the thing. You just got to give yourself the opportunity. Claire's laughing at you.
Yeah, because when I was like, brother-in-law, is that the right one? She's yes, it is. I was trying to work it out in my head. It is brother-in-law.
Didn't know Trish was an ABBA fan. Ring, ring, ring. Did ABBA have a song called Ring, Ring, Ring? Did they? She keeps asking me for a ring. She says, "When you get me a ring," and we've got a doorbell. So she's
No. What was the first time I asked you, and what did you say?
what?
We were stood next to a lake, and there was a lifeguard ring. And he said, "I'll throw that in the water for you if you want."
I'm such a romantic. I am. Right, there we go. So Jason, you're coming for a jam, are you? When you get back, right? Okay. Claire's sorted that out.
Yeah, going on tomorrow.
Flipping, Andrew's here. Sorry I'm late. Having a cold burger after my barbecue. Didn't you have burger for breakfast, Andrew? Here you go. Mary, question. Do you go a date without playing guitar? Yes. Most days, actually. I'll tell you what I've done is I've gone about 6 months without playing the piano because she wouldn't let me have the piano downstairs. She wouldn't let me put it in the living room because it's full of wool. We've got more wool in our living room
Because you've
than
got
the
this
wool
room.
shop's got, right? So, yeah, but this room's too small.
Well, so you can't have all the rooms.
What I actually do like to do, now I've got my piano set up in the living room again, is I like to play the piano, a little bit of piano once a day. I find that very therapeutic. And I think I don't find playing the guitar therapeutic, but I think because I do it in my work, sometimes I'll be playing something like 4 or 5 sessions a week. So, you know, a couple of care homes or community gigs, there might be a gig. Someone else will do the Sunday service, the live stream, and I'll probably be playing it 4 or 5 days a week, because just to do with the gig diary, which is lovely to be at that stage of my life where I can say that. It's took a long time. There's times when I'm writing songs, I will be playing it all the time. When I'm writing, I'm like a binge writer, and I'll have a period of 2 or 3 months where I'll just write loads of songs or loads of ideas, throw loads of ideas at it, and probably only come out with 2 or 3 songs, but I'll have a binge session, and then I'll be playing most of the day, you know. But I can go, if I've nothing on, I can go days without playing it, can't I?
Mm-hmm.
You know. I like to play the piano every day. That's why I've set the piano up again. Who said romance was dead? Yeah, we are very romantic, Claire. I'm very romantic, aren't I, dear?
No comment.
No comment. There you go.
I'm waiting for the answer to this one.
What's your real age? I'm 24, Andrew. I'm 24. It's opposite day today, isn't it? So I'm allowed to lie.
Yeah. And Caitlin, it's opposite day today.
Caitlin's coming playing on the show next week, isn't she?
Phone me up before, FaceTime me.
Yeah.
Just to tell me, apparently, Nanny, it's opposite day today.
It's opposite day today. Dom Duddle, how do you get to play the Royal Albert Hall? Go and watch the Dylan concert, take your harmonica, and when he plays Blowing in the Wind, which I think is in D, play your harmonica along with Bob Dylan playing Blowing in the Wind, and that's the closest you'll get to playing the Royal Albert Hall. You'll get chucked out 5 minutes later, but that's probably the closest people like us will get, Dom. But do you know what, though? I mean, here's one, because the Dom plays in Laszlo Baby, right? And here's something. One of the things, because I've been around a long, one of the most wonderful things I've seen in music is I've seen people starting out, you know, who are just starting out and they don't think they're going to get anywhere, but they're enjoying what they're doing. And then over a period of 2 or 3 years, suddenly they get higher and higher on bills and get invited to do some special gigs. And it's starting to happen for Laszlo Baby. You know, I mean, I remember when we first saw Merry Hell, they were just this little band from Wigan, weren't they? You know, they played Croppedy, which is like, I don't know, is it 15,000 people at Croppedy last year? You know, is it 15, 20? I don't know. It's a lot. But you see Merry Hell, you know, going up and up and up, playing bigger gigs, you know, doing more you know, more important gigs and more respected gigs all the time. And you know, aim for it, Dom. I mean, Laszlo Baby could play Royal Albert Hall. I don't think I will. I think I'm just destined to do lovely things with you, aren't I, really? We're not going to play the Royal Albert Hall, are we? Practice, that's what Dom says. How do you get to play the Royal Albert Hall? You practice. Yeah. You also have to do networking, Dom, and get to know a few people. Do you remember that word, dear? We went out last night and she was sat on her own whilst I was networking.
He took me out. He said, do you want to come out? We don't go out often together. Let's go out. And what did he do? He vanished and left me sat there for an hour twiddling my thumbs.
I was networking.
You weren't, you were gabbing.
I was networking. It's important, networking. It's how you get the work.
I went to go to the loo and I saw you were stood at the entrance to the ladies with a load of women round you, giving it all this. That's not networking.
What did I think of the City game? That's not a musical question, Rachel, but I enjoyed it. It was good fun. It was great. I mean, I was a junior blue back in the day. I used to follow City home and away, didn't I? All over the place. I remember my first factory job was in a rope factory, and what I earned on a Friday at the end of the week, I'd go out and get my stuff to the game on a Saturday, go all around the country. Yeah. Take your scooter, Trish. How do you get to the Royal Albert Hall? There you go. Oh, my sister's on Alison. Hi, Alison. That'd be Alison. Watching on YouTube.
Hi, Alison.
Hi, Ali. Here's a question from Mary. Have you thought about having your own band, or do you prefer playing along? We do sort of. I do the thing with Kevin Farrell where we go out as a duo. For a while, we did Poise of Fluff and Farrell, which was a trio, and we did a few gigs as a trio. Just not that many, not as many as we should. If there's one thing I regret, actually, Mary, I think probably the duo and trio lineups with Kevin and Fluff, and Jamie. And Jamie, they've been brilliant lineups because those are people, world-class musicians. And maybe there's a part of me that I should have been a bit more hungry and gone
You
out.
and Kevin used to do a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin did a lot of gigs. We still do. But
Kevin's out quite a lot now, isn't he?
I think we could have done a lot more, actually. You know, if there's anything I regret, it's not solo, because as a solo performer, I've done my fair share. But I think duos and trios with those brilliant musicians, I should have done more. Maybe this time. But yeah, I always think there's always ever opportunity. I mean, I think I'd like me and you to go out and do some gigs, Trish. That'd be nice. We could have our own little band, couldn't we? What should we call ourselves, by the way?
Trish.
That was Alison. Is that the name of the band, Trish?
Yes.
Not Darren and Trish.
I haven't got a clue.
Trish and Darren. You're still stood right at the edge of the screen now. Are you not wanting to say hello tonight?
Got bad back.
Are you gonna have another hot flush?
Do you know, I thought that your Ali had wrote Hi Ditsy then.
Hi Dizzy, it's Ellie. There you go. Oh yeah, one from Andrew here. Andrew, saw you as a duo many years ago. Bath, yeah, Garvey, give me. Oh, that's us not sleeping last night. Bath, well, I'm trying to think what duo that would have been. That would have been Kevin Farrell. That would have been me, Kevin, and Royden. Actually, I think we were a trio. Here's a question: do you have a favourite rock band? Good question. When I started listening to music as a kid, one of a band called The Sweet was the band that I got into to begin with. But then also I moved on to a band called the Electric Light Orchestra, and I was really into all these big orchestral arrangements that they had. It was quite operatic rock, and for a kid who was like 10, 11 years old, I was a little bit different than most other kids, because what I was listening to was prog rock, you know, and it wasn't cool. It's a little story that some of you might find amusing. I had friends when I crept into my teenage years with my Electric Light Orchestra record collection. I had some friends who were like into punk and new wave, and one night we went out with a spray can, you know, like you do as teenagers. Oh, if you tear away teenagers, we went out with a spray can, and it was Buster Lindsay and Baggy. You don't know Buster and Baggy, but they're two old mates of mine. And Baggy on this wall, side of this big wall in this little village called Padfield, right? He wrote PIL, P-I-L, Public Image Limited, right? That's what it's done. And they're a punk band, you know, this really credible, cool punk band. But they had like a logo, so he wrote this PIL logo and drew it with this spray can. It's really cool. And then Buster did the Jam with this curly J, which was the band's logo. And I got halfway through ELO and they legged it. They didn't speak to me for weeks after that because it was just so uncool. I didn't realise how uncool it was to be into ELO, because I just loved the music, you know, not the image. The whole punk thing for me was an image at the time. I liked it, and I got into the Jam and I got into new wave stuff, but I still liked the some of the rock stuff, and I just thought Bohemian Rhapsody was the greatest song of all time. I know it's not cool to like Queen. My mother likes Queen. That is so uncool. But what a great song, Bohemian Rhapsody. You know, brilliant. What was your favourite song? What did you listen to? You were a gothy indie kid, weren't you?
Cure.
The Cure. You were a goth, weren't you?
If that's what you want to call me. Happy Mondays.
You're into Happy Mondays. Go on, who else?
And Spiral Carpets.
And you got to meet Tom, haven't you? Who was the singer in Spiral Carpet? We did a gig with him, didn't we?
Echo and the Bunnyman.
Yeah, Bunnyman. I used to love Bunnyman, actually. Have you got any tattoos?
Doors.
Have you got any tattoos? I have. You haven't you?
I've got loads.
Go on, show us one of your tattoos. What's your favourite tattoos? Show us your favourite tattoo.
You can't see it.
Ah, it's one of those answers, is it? What have you got on your arms?
I've got ones that need finishing. That was a cover-up of something, of somebody that was training. It needs redoing. That one just looks like a big blob. I like that one.
Oh, dear. Right, don't fall off the back. What, this one here? It's an upside down eagle, isn't it?
Well, because I can't stand on my head. Well, I need to get Mum written on it somewhere.
It says Dad there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got
true.
that just after my dad passed away.
That's very nice. But no, I haven't got any tattoos. I mean, I don't know. I should have one with... Should I get one that says Trisha?
No.
Oh, where's the romance? Why not? I'll get one that says somebody else's name then. There you go.
Annoying little
Is it? Come on then. Let's tell them the story. Let's tell them the story. What's the funniest heckle I've had? There's been 2 really good heckles I've had, right? That stand out. One was from you, wasn't it? Do you remember that time you heckled me?
No, you didn't like mine.
What did you
got
call
a
me?
gob on over it.
What did you shout out at me whilst I was on stage once?
No, that's not how the story goes.
It was up in Lancashire. Go on, tell the story.
The story goes that we were going to a gig and we were picking Kevin up on the way, and we'd had an argument in the car. So when Kevin got in, we weren't talking. And then we got out, but I think in the argument I'd called you an annoying little HIT.
Yeah.
Right? So when he was up on stage and he was singing, he decided that he'd tell the story. Right? So
To get sympathy.
Yeah, to get sympathy. So he turned around and said it all like we had an argument, blah blah. Kevin said I knew something had gone on.
That's true.
He said, and then she called me an annoying little SHIT. Well, everyone clapped. The whole place broke up in laughter and like, yeah. You should have seen his face.
I was quite upset, wasn't I?
Yeah.
I was.
He thought they were all going to stick up for him,
Because
but they didn't.
I don't think that was very fair calling me that. I thought I'd have got sympathy from, but I didn't.
Oh, mine. And then when I was walking out, they're all going, "Are you taking the little home?" So then I just had to get you a birthday card made that had a Santa sitting on the toilet reading a newspaper that said, "To my annoying little."
She did. She did. And she still has people who have sympathy with her. The other one is the kebab story, right? I've told the kebab story at gigs, but I've never told it on a live stream. But I'll tell you the kebab story for those of you who've not heard it. A lad called Scott Wainwright, and this is a true story. We did a couple of We Shall Overcome gigs, and the first one was in in Huddersfield, and there's a lad called Scott Wainwright on, blues player, and he's on after me. And Scott came on and he said, "Oh, Huddersfield's great. I like playing Huddersfield. It's the kind of place that makes you want to get a kebab and leave half on somebody's wall." And I thought that was really funny. So I thought, I'm nicking that. That's a good gag. I'm nicking that joke. So the following night, I was playing a We Shall Overcome gig in St Helens. And I went on stage at St Helens and I thought, I'm going to use that gag that Scott said. And so I said, "Oh, St Helens, it's lovely to play St Helens. It's the kind of place that makes you want to get a kebab and leave half on somebody's wall." And this scouser down the front shouts out, "Feck off, you've never left a kebab."
He's right.
He is. I don't think I have. I just thought that'll teach me for nicking gags, won't it? You know, never nick a joke, right? You know, because it always comes back on you. It really does. Would my mum approve of a tattoo? I don't know. My mum's on. Would you approve if I had a tattoo, mother? She is. She's still around. One of my friend's bands was heckled with the line, "Play one you know." I got heckled with that once. I did, yeah.
Shout that at you.
Someone shouted that at me once, "Play one you know." Yeah, brilliant. Here you go. If you and Trish made a little band together, what would you call yourself? Are we going to decide on this then?
Oh, I wouldn't even know where to start thinking of names.
Why don't we call ourselves the Hot Flushers?
The Hot Flashes.
No, we're not Flashers. That'd come out wrong.
Apparently, because if you put it in Hot Flushes in the internet, it comes up as Hot Flashes.
Is it? It's one of those Googlism things, is it? Okay. No, I just think Darren and Trish works, doesn't it? Not Trish and Darren. Darren and Trish. Yeah?
Mhm.
Okay.
It'll just be the same as usual, just you and me sometimes maybe there, if I don't sort of chicken out.
Here's one. Andrew talking about old records, about them being worse than nothing. I've got a little bag of old records here, and I can't remember what I've got, but I've got a vinyl, and it's really good. It must have been great nick because I've not played it for years. Of one of the greatest albums ever, which was the Paul Simon Graceland album. Did you ever hear that?
No.
Wasn't
I had
wasn't
one
goth enough for you? Was
that I
it?
used to love, and I can't remember who sang it, but it was called "A Buzz 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 in the Drum of Your Ear." It was Ace.
Google it. Who was it?
I haven't got a clue.
I think somebody should Google it for you. Just Google it. I know. A buzz, buzz, buzz in the drum of your ear.
I don't know if that's what it was called, but that's what it said. I'm sure that I think it was what it was called.
A buzz, buzz, buzz in the drum of your ear. Great. Do you know what? I wasn't too sure how many brilliant albums. Is that Graceland or a Buzz, Buzz, Buzz?
Yeah, Graceland.
Graceland. Graceland is a great album. But we're talking about, having some records lying around. There is a little bag of records.
There's all sorts lying around in this house.
I know.
I get told, move all your rubbish, and then here's you with God knows what.
I still haven't played.
Stop knocking me near that chair.
Right, just chill. Don't have a domestic now. I still haven't played that song I co-wrote with Chris Difford. I need to do it, don't I?
You're one of these that say, I'll do this, but then it gets done 6 months later.
Yeah, you don't have to keep nagging me about it. I'll do it. It'll get done. Things get done, don't they?
No.
We've been here nearly an hour. This is great. I never thought we'd last this long. Let me tell you another story. Pick a story, Trish. Pick a story. Come on. Where can we get some stories? I played Glastonbury once. That was good. Only the once. It was enough for me. And I think, how did I get to play Glastonbury? I was I blagged in as a roadie with Biggles Wartime Band in the Greenfields. We're up in the Greenfields, and because I blagged in as their roadie sound engineer, I got to play a few little gigs around the fields of Glastonbury Festival, which was great, including the.
Didn't he never invite you back?
I don't. I could probably, based on people I know, go back and play Glastonbury. But I didn't really enjoy the whole Glastonbury experience.
I've never been.
No.
My sister Claire, who was on earlier, she's been a few times, and my 2 eldest used to go every time.
Yeah. But obviously, I've been, because I played other festivals instead, and smaller festivals. I've done Belladrum about 5 or 6 years running, didn't I? So I've done smaller festivals and probably enjoyed them more. Glastonbury, you get lost in Glastonbury. It's about 100,000. It's like a small city. Oh, it's a city. Literally is a city. Ian says, see if you can make your group name by using anagrams of your names. My stomach's gurgling. That's not a great name for a Patrish. Come on, we've got 7 minutes, and then I think we'll say goodnight to everybody. Anagram of my name. So that's kind of like Dartrish, or Trish. It's not going to work, is it?
Isn't it an anagram where you jumble all the letters up, not just do like Dart and then add it?
Yeah. We could be Poiser and Plant, and then we could pretend that, because your second name's Plant, isn't it? We could pretend that you are related to Robert Plant, then. That'd be cool.
I am though.
Are you?
Yeah.
You didn't tell
Did
me
you not
that.
know?
You didn't tell me that. Robert Plant out of Led Zeppelin, or have you just got an uncle called Robert?
The famous one, whoever he is.
You mean you're related to Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin and you don't know
People
who he
used to ask me that, and I used to go, yeah. Who is it? The DTs.
The DTs. Wait, no, I think that's already been done, isn't it? I think there is a band called the DTs. Yeah. It could be the TDs. Go on, someone say.
You wouldn't have that because you want your name first.
Go on, we could get somebody. We could be a trio. Get somebody with the name beginning with S, and then we could be the ST. No, no, Darren. That's too far fetched. I'm just looking at Rachel's question there about writing my own songs. How many songs have I written? Do you think? Must have
All
about
the
3.
ones he sings on a Sunday are ones he's written.
Can't play cover versions on the Sunday morning show, Rachel, because so all the songs are songs I've written, because otherwise you get done for copyright for playing other people's songs without permission. So that's why I only play songs I've written on a Sunday morning. And Trish is going to write one, aren't you? Aren't you, Trish? 5 minutes left. Let me think of what another quick story to tell you. So Glastonbury, I was saying about Glastonbury. Got to play in this bandstand in the Greenfields, and it's one of my favourite ever gigs. And I always remember there's that thing, like that moment in your career when you went to at the end of the set and you want to go, "Thank you, Glastonbury." And I was just about to say it, and Fluff said, "Hang on, Darren." And I said, "What?" And Fluff said, I want to do it. And she went up to the mic and she said, "Thank you, Glastonbury." And I thought, that was the bit I wanted, but, it's a lovely moment when you get to do that. That's nice. I didn't get to do it.
I'll take your word for it.
It is. It was a lovely thing to play, but I played, the smaller festivals are best. I think so. The smaller festivals, you just meet loads of nice people and you do lovely things and, camp and have a laugh. You don't get much sleep. Yeah, and you don't get much sleep at festivals, do you, really? You wouldn't cope. You wouldn't cope.
No.
No.
I can't cope with the small ones at the moment.
Have you been to many gigs, though? Did you ever see the Cult or the Cure or the
The first gig I ever went to was the Charlatans in 1989 in Crewe. It was just before they became famous. I had a friend that worked at Omega Records in Northwich, and they used to practice in the back.
Ooh.
So we got free tickets.
Were you a groupie then?
I remember, I've probably still got it somewhere actually, the demo tapes.
Not very rock and roll, you, are you?
So, the one that I did really enjoy, which you'll probably laugh at, were the Cores.
The Cores are great.
Yeah, I loved them.
Well, the Cores are great. Really good.
But, yeah.
It's not cool to say that the Cores are great, but they were great. They're really good.
And I had to go and watch, what was that one that Emma was into when she was an emo?
An emo.
Oh, what were they called?
I don't know, but just whilst you remember, I had tickets to see U2 once, and nobody'd go with me. Was it £2.50, £3.50 to see U2 at Liverpool University? And being from Manchester, and at an age when you were aware of all the football rivalry, none of my mates, right, would go to Liverpool because they thought they were going to get beat up for being Manx, basically. So I had 2 tickets to go and see U2, this brand new band from Ireland that were just about to break, and I loved them. I got the first album and the first single, and nobody had come to see U2 with me.
Is there a group called My Chemical Romance?
Yeah.
Is that an emu one?
Yeah.
Emo. I think that was the
bless
one
you,
that she
Trish.
dragged me to watch.
Is that an emu band? I love that. Great. 2 minutes and then we'll disappear. Thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks for asking your questions. It's lovely to just come on and have a little chat about music, isn't it? It really is. A little one. I recorded my first album. I was trying to work this out. It would have been around about 1989, which is what, or was it? No, it was 1990, I think it was. So I think next year is 35 years since I recorded my first album, and it was on a cassette. Do you remember cassettes?
I've just said that one of the Charlatans was a cassette.
Oh, right, okay. I wasn't listening.
You never are when I talk.
Paz, Mr. Parry, I think we might leave you with the last word on this one. The Rod Hulls, that was an emu band. Boom, psh, where's your drum? Get on your drum on that. Give him a drum roll. There you go. The Rod Hulls, that was an emu band. Should we go?
Do you know I was getting muddled up then with Orville?
Orville. Yeah, we know Orville, don't we? Orville and...
Who is your very best friend?
You are! Lots of love, everybody. We're going to go and have a brew and chill out for a bit and get ready for the rest of the week. Thanks for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed this little chinwag tonight. Anytime, yeah. Just come and see us on a Sunday morning. Every Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Sunday service with Darren and Trish. We play songs and we have a laugh. Thank you, everybody. Bye, Ian. Bye, Jason. Look forward to meeting you. I'll get the spare guitar out. All good.
You did meet him. He came up once.
Did I? Oh, I did. Oh, he's all right, him, isn't he? Oh, I know what you mean now.
Jay, yeah.
He's all right, him. You know,
You
sometimes.
were stood in a kitchen gabbing away to him.
You know, sometimes people come and visit, and I'm like, and I don't really hit it off with them. And I don't I? Not with everybody who comes.
Very rare.
He's all right. I liked him. Jason, you're all right, Jason. You come round, mate. I remember him. He's all right. Yeah, come round. We'll have a jam. We'll do
How
that.
he knows who he's talking to.
Yeah. Well, this is what happens with these things, isn't it? You don't know who's who, do you? Well, I don't.
He said hello this morning.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, he did, didn't he? I'm at that age.
You're supposed to be going to the wedding.
Am I? What wedding?
Oh, forget it. This is where we have conversations and you always act like...
Can I just right, a little tip for anybody. If you invite me to a wedding, right, tell me I'm playing at the wedding and then I'll put it in the diary. That's how you get a musician to come to your wedding. You tell him it's a gig, mate. You get to play. There you go. Otherwise, I ain't got a clue ever.
It's in the diary.
I'm a musician. You should be used to me like by now.
It's in... I've got two. I've got my daughter's in June, is it? And yours is July? Or is it the other way round? Yours is June and hers is July. It's one of them. I think theirs is July and Emma's is June.
Give me a 20-minute set and I'll be there. There you go.
You'll be getting up with you. That's an idea, right, Jay? You come round, you teach you how to play a song and you can play it at your wedding.
There you go.
There you go, it is July.
That's your party piece. We'll play a song at your wedding. There you go, Jason. July. Right, great. There we go. We've got a gig.
Must be Emma's that's June then.
Last one. Rachel, have you ever been to any rock bands? Is that any rock band gigs or into any rock bands? I was saying earlier on about being into ELO. I had the pleasure, if you remember Whitesnake, I don't know, Rachel, if you remember Whitesnake, but I sort of promoted some gigs for Mickey Moody and Bernie Marsden out of Whitesnake, which was quite cool. That was great. And they had Zach Starkey, the son of Ringo Starr, on drums, and they all stayed in my flat. There you go. What other rock bands is there?
Didn't you have some sleeping on your couch?
I supported Wishbone Ash. I've done that. They're a rock band, prog rock band. Yeah. Nazareth, they were a rock band. Support Hawkwind. I've supported Hawkwind. Osric Tentacles.
Never heard of them.
These are all kind of hippie proggy rock bands. Yeah,
Take your word for it.
they're great. Are we going?
I support my legs.
We are going. Thank you. Lots of love, everybody.
Bye.
Good night. It's lots of love from me. And
Me.
what about the routine we were going to do?
Oh, I can't remember the routine. You
Right.
keep muddling it up.
It's the old.
Now when we do the kiss, you've got to go that way so it looks... Well, we're normally the wrong way round, aren't we, of a morning?
Should we do it the right way around now? Ready? This stand by for some romance. Are you ready? Ready? See a serious face, smiling, laughing. Doesn't take it seriously. There's no romance there.
Just got to get that light out my eyes. It's giving me an headache.
Oh, here we go. We're going.
Bye, bye.
That's love, everyone. Come see us on a Sunday morning, 11 a.m. live every Sunday. Right, we're going. Bye bye.